It's yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, and yeah, hello to everybody, and I'm happy to share. I think some of you know a lot about our journey and our programs and yeah, our results, but maybe I will try to explain some basics, and maybe you can go deeper during this question time. So I will share my presentation, and I will ask you. Okay, here is my presentation. Can you see?
Yeah? Yes.
Okay, and can you see the next slide?
The map, yes.
Map. Okay, great. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. So yeah, I'm director and yeah, one of the founders of Cesta. Cesta means in English way out. We started this organization 5 years ago, so we are quite a young organization in terms of age of organization, but we were like middle-aged people or people in maybe 40s, let's say. Okay, so with some experiences, and that was one of my life decisions for the rest of my life to do something very meaningful. And I had some experiences before with these topics, with this target group, and I found some people, and they shared the same enthusiasm, and yeah, we started this work. What drives us is the problem in Slovakia with marginalized Roma communities. Yeah, it's unbelievable that in 21st century in Central Europe can be communities like this where people live really not decent life, very horrible life, very huge poverty, lot of problems, lot of pathologies. They don't like it. So yeah, we don't want to help them like people from middle class that we want to help them to change themselves according to our ideas. What we wanted to do from the very beginning is to maybe help them, to empower them, with them, together with them, to include them to the solution and to support them, and they will be solution. So that was our original idea. So I will talk about the Omama Program. It's focused on early childhood development, and at the end I will mention also some other programs we have with other age or target groups. But at the beginning, this is nice map of Slovakia, and you can see that yeah, maybe for some people from Western Europe it can be yeah, horrifying information, but it's possible in our country that even in very young age, when kids start their schools, they fail. They need to repeat this school or this year at the very beginning at school, and usually they do not succeed after that. So, and these are the regions, and you can see that in some regions of Slovakia, it is about 10% of kids, or even 15 or even 20% of kids who needs to continue or repeat the first year of the primary school. I think it's horrible. So that was one of our motivations to help them, and that was one of my inspirations. Was that in past I worked with Roma Scouts with children who were a little bit older. But yeah, in that time I knew that yeah, there is something missing. Those kids are very smart and very good in many ways, but yeah, something was necessary to do earlier, and that's also many teachers, many, for example, people from Teach for Slovakia or those organizations who work with those kids from very poor regions, they say the same, that it's too late to start during school age. It's necessary to start earlier. So that was one of first inspirations, because you can see this nice girl. She's 3 years old kid. Her name is Alice. She's from one of our settlements, and yeah, what is horrible that we know her future. She will. Yeah, I can show it that. Yeah, she was born to poverty. Her early childhood was not such happy. A lot of stress there. Lack of stimulus. So she will be one of that kids who will fail at school at the beginning. And probably she will not finish primary school, or she will finish primary school, but yeah, she will not be prepared for work, to have a good job with good salary. So probably she will be pregnant when she will be 15 or 16. It's very common with guy from the same settlement. And they together will have very low income, very bad housing. They will have a lot of debts. And their kid will be burned to poverty again. And this cycle will go again and again. And this is generational poverty problem. And yeah, it's very sad story that we know the future of this Alice. But we want to change this story. We want to help those kids at the beginning, and to start really at the beginning, before the school, and even before, even not in preschool age, but even really at the beginning. But yeah, we can see what is maybe important from our maybe philosophy, that we can look at this girl from three lenses. One is individual. It's about her possibilities. What is how we can strengthen her. What we, when I talking we, I mean like NGO, her family, Omamas and others. What we can do for her individually. But there is also community lens. What is necessary to change in community, what she will experience in her everyday life. This is also important. What opportunities she will see, what obstacles will be there, and of course institutions, because there is huge racism in Slovakia, and also this is like in systemic racism, and it's not only so it's only one of the field. We focus on individual development of those kids, but there are also these two other lens we need to see, and we are also active in this other lens. For example, right now, I am in one committee with our new Minister of Education, and we are talking very actively about desegregation, because those kids live or are attend segregated schools. So this is also the systemic or institutional view of this problem. So all of them, it's necessary to do. We will not succeed when only one individual element, for example, we will focus on. It's important, very important, but it's also important to support these other areas. So yes, but let's go back. At the beginning, we were checking other maybe programs or activities or know-how from the world. Yeah, and we found this beautiful curve. Probably you know it. It's Heckman curve, Nobelist James Heckman, and he measured return or social return on investment depends on age of people from different difficult environments. And he found that it's very it's most effective to start very early. Those programs from 0 to 3 they have the biggest return on investment. So this was our maybe like main motivation, that we really want to start with this early childhood. We knew, we checked some researches or some good results from the world. For example, in the United States, everything is measured. So there are, maybe you are familiar with programs like this Chicago Child Parent Center program. It's very famous. Or Perry Preschool project, it's even more famous. And you can see the numbers. Numbers are this social return on investment, that when you invest $1 to that program, society will get, for example, $15 back, because those kids will have better future, they will have better school results, they will have better jobs, higher salaries, and they will be better included in society. So this was very promising. But even here, you can see those preschool programs. Preschool, I mean, from 4 to 6. It's very important age of kids. But we let's go back. We wanted to focus not 4 to 6, but 0 to 3, where this return on investment is even bigger. So we were discussing about this. And we, in that time, 5 years ago, there was nothing like this in Slovakia. There were some activities, very nice, and we support them. But usually they focused on preschool activities, and nothing was there from really something active and long-term from zero, from birth. So that was our main motivation to start something new, but it was completely unknown area for us, what to do, how to do it, and so how to focus on really babies from birth. So we started with some concepts, and we started with lean startup method. That it was very lean, very small. We started in 3 communities, at the beginning, we founded organizations. Here you can see founders, my wife and my colleague, Olga, my wife, Hela, and 3 of us, without any money, without investment, without any donor, we founded this organization, and we started to fundraise to do this dream. So our first fundraising activity was my half marathon. It was, I think, 1 week after that, establishing this organization. I ran half marathon in Prague, and I asked all my friends, all my colleagues, all my family members, and the people I knew. It was maybe 400 people. I remember that I checked my mobile phone and all addresses, all contacts. So I asked them, those people, that I want to run half marathon in Prague, and they can kick me on this run when they will support this new idea that we want to do in marginalized Roma communities, this activity, this new activity. It was quite, honestly, it was quite difficult to ask people for money. I was quite frustrated to do that. But the answers, it was beautiful. It was more than half of those people supported this idea, and they said that it's a great idea. It's great that you will run, but it's even more great that you want to start organization like this and a program like this. So it was like first community building that we received first supporters, first friends of this idea. And from that moment, we continued to build this community of supporters and to tell them stories about what we do, about people we work with, about our successes and failures. And this community is growing and they really love it. So I'm very proud about our community now. We have thousands of people in this community and they are very close supporters, and they always support us in very big way. When we have problem, we ask them, and usually we find some help. So that's great. So and just to finish this talking about this run, now it's like big program. We have a program Run for Omamas, or Run Omamas, and many people, they have their own runs and they have their own collections of money for Omamas, for Omama Program. So it is going every year. So it's great. So, but back to the beginning. So the idea was that from this first money we fundraised, we will find and employ first women in poor settlements in eastern Slovakia. We will train them and help them. We will give them know-how from the best experts in Slovakia about this early childhood development. We will give them some equipment, some toys, educational materials, and so. And they will visit poor households in their communities, in their neighborhood, and they will make like lessons. We call it lessons, and those lessons, one lesson takes 1 hour, and maybe half of that is stimulation of kid. Half of that, or 20 minutes, is supporting or empowerment of parent, usually mothers, sometimes fathers. And we started with this idea, and we checked if it will work or not. And we were happy that we found those Omamas, and they really loved that job. And they were able to find those families and to start this program. So we improved this quality of this program, of this method. So right now we have 3 manuals for each week of each week of life of kid, from birth to 4th birthday. So they know what to do. But this is the basic model. So you can see Omama, you can see mother, you can see child, early childhood. This is what is visible on this picture in poor households. So they do these home visits. It's usually home visits mostly. Sometimes we have our own caravans, or we use some local community centers or something like this. But mostly they go to families, to households. And Omama supports mother each week. And the idea is not that Omama will be like new parent for the kid. Omama is like grandmother, and she supports mother or father. And it is the role of parent to support the kid. So this is the idea behind. So the role of parent is crucial, and he or she needs to be there every lesson. So it's not possible to organize lesson without parent. This is one of the elements to empowering parent. And what you don't see on that picture, it's that there are some people who support Omama, because Omama is the lady from the poor community, usually without formal education. So they have only primary schools finished. So they don't have this qualification or formal qualification, formal education, but we try to support this. When we support her very, very actively, it's possible to compensate this lack of education. So each Omama, she has mentor, very active mentor. It means that they meet weekly several times, and also there is supervisor The supervisor is a lady who is responsible for quality of our method. So she give her feedback, what is necessary to improve. And this feedback is very active, very, very constant. So, and thanks to this feedback, we in Cesta One, we believe in feedback. So, because, for example, you can have a teacher for the whole life, and this teacher will be bad teacher because he doesn't have feedback. He used to work in classroom, but he's not maybe good. But when he or she will receive feedback very regularly, it's possible to improve very quickly. So this is what we do, and we see these results that after 1 year, for example, from this Omama, unexperienced lady from the poor settlement without formal education, there is like expert. She's better than me actually in this work because she does it or she works every day with these, and she gets a lot of feedback, so she improves very quickly. So this is idea behind. And they have a lot of trainings. They have this manual, and they have also online application. I will just quickly show it to you. So here are trainings. You can see that, and those trainings, there are a lot of trainings, a lot of education. So we compensate this lack of education. Here you can see these manuals, sample of manuals. They are in easy to read style because they struggle with Slovak language. So there are a lot of pictures. It's very easy to read. And we have also this application. And in this application, they have also this manual and also with videos. So they can see what activities, what they can do with kids in different ages. So it's very simple for them or easy to learn. And here you can see that application. So this application is, we are very proud of this because this is like our main weapon. Because they plan each lesson every day in this application, and they only click on kids, and these applications will offer them activities according to the age of kids, what is necessary to do, and they assess how parents were active. For example, they have pediatrician screenings in these applications and other things. So we have so many data in this application that we want to use those data also in future. We know almost everything about those families, about some pathologies or about some problems in early childhood or during birth, if there were some problems about housing and about these things. So many things. So I think it's precious to have data like this, because for scientists, it's later on, it's good to maybe to compare if there are some relations between some things. So this was application. And if you want, maybe this is maybe one minute video just to understand, just to imagine how it works. I will comment it. It's without the words. So just have a look. This is one of Omama from her house. She's going at lesson. You can see the back with toys, and she visits her neighbor. And they play together. It's structured lesson, and she knows what to do according to age. And she supported these soft motor skills, gross motor skills. They read during all lessons. You can see mother, it's always there, or father. And they also have joy. It's also about emotional development, about those kids should be happy and should need to build attachment to mothers. For example, here with babies, they use massages a lot, and we teach mothers how to make this massage with babies. This is great too. You can see play wisely cards. It's like cognitive cards we use, and those kids train their focus. They learn some words. they always use right and left side of their bodies, right and left, for example, hands. And always there is success, there is fun, because those kids usually they don't feel success in their life. Those parents don't know that it's necessary to praise those kids and to empower those kids, even in that early childhood. So you can see also some logical basics. They know colors, for example, or different these squares and triangles and circles and those things. And always there is book reading, building vocabulary. So this is like this. So activities depends on age, but there is always mother, and many times there are some also other kids. They learn, they participate during those lessons, and you can see the conditions where some people live in this time. So that was like example that you can see about that. And I will finish maybe in a minute or two. Here is the map I showed you at the beginning, and here you can see Omamas where they work right now. Right now we have 44 Omamas. They work with 900 families and directly in those regions with that problem when those people failed at the beginning at school. So this is one of our solutions we want to address to do this. And you can see also 3 triangles in Czech Republic. We started last year in Czech Republic in Ostrava region. So in future we will spread this activity also to Czech Republic. We will see in future if also we will go to other countries. But we want to specifically focus on Slovakia because this problem is so horrible here that we need to do a lot of things here. Here are some faces, not only triangles, just for you to have better understanding. And maybe some comments about what we measure. One of those things is involvement of the parents. For example, you can see that on each lesson, Omamas they measure or they assess if those parents last week were active with those kids, if they worked with their kids. They give them some homework, so if they read with them or if they play with them, if they train them something. So, and for example, you can see in 2019, only 10 or 9% of parents were very, very active during the week. And in 2022, you can see there was a progress. So 42% of parents were very active during the week. So this is what we want to support, to mobilize those parents and to make them more active, because this is critical. Not Omamas are the crucial educators, but parents are crucial educators because they are with their kids every day, the whole day. So. And also, this is another measurement we have. We cooperate a lot with Oxford University, and they have inter-NDA measurement or assessment. So it's like inter-neurodevelopment assessment, and here are results from our study. Red dots are kids from settlements, from poor settlements. I mean Roma kids from those very poor settlements. These pink dots are children from middle class, like Slovak kids from middle class. And those blue dots are children from settlements, from poor settlements, from Omama Program. So you can see that progress. We are not successful that we have the same level because there are a lot of other influences of generational poverty to that kids. But this progress is significant, and what people from Oxford University say that they did it in I forgot if it was 23 or something like these countries, and this was one of the best results they saw. So we are proud about that. On the other hand, we still see some opportunities to improve this, because we all constantly change activities. We improve that. We try to find the best working. And honestly, there are also a lot of problems. For example, after those 5 years, we found that some Omamas, they are, it's very, very hard, very difficult job, because they, except of this very nice work with kids, they communicate with those parents about their hard life, difficult life. And they listen every day, a lot of bad stories, a lot of problems. So it's also like, social work. And they can be frustrated from those situations. So it's not easy to work this. So we still try to improve and find ways how to support those Omamas and how to do this, because we believe very much that it's great. That was great decision to do this from within the community, not outside the community, but to support people from within. And maybe something about our communication. We communicate a lot. I talked about those stories and building the community. Some people talk about us that we are love brand. I don't know, but because we try to be very sensitive. We also publish some pictures from poverty, but we have very, very strict rules about that, and those people should be happy about this publication. They should approve and they should be happy. And people love those stories because they understand more. And I believe that thanks to this, and we can see those people understand Roma people more, and they started to understand that it's not about the Roma, it's not about ethnicity, it's about poverty. What is the problem? So and they try to, or they now they accept Roma more, because in Slovakia it's like a lot of prejudices, a lot of big racism, because people many times they don't understand it's not about ethnicity, but about the social economical problems. So this is about our communication. This is about our fundraising. Just very quickly, that we fundraise, build this community. We have a lot of individual donors, a lot of these major donors, but also growing number or growing money from the state. And in future, it needs to be very, very significant, because when we want to help the majority of those kids, it's not possible to do it only from individual sources. But we see some promising steps in this field. I can comment it later. This is our president of Slovak Republic, Zuzana Čaputová, and she invited one of our Omamas to her flight to Greece and Northern Ireland when she were there to present some Slovakia and present some cooperation. So she decided also to present some social activities, not only business, but also some social activities. So, and this was, for example, one of those activities which are very important for those Roma people from poor settlements, because usually politicians and leaders and those people, they don't go to settlements, they don't communicate with those poor Roma people. And this was for first time probably in history where some Roma woman was invited to such travel. And it was in her life, it was her first flight, and in presidential plane. So it was like big story for everybody, for all Roma. So it was like one of the signals that they are part of society, that they are accepted, that they are included. This is what we need to have those signals, and not only signals, but real steps to avoid this systemic racism. And this was our plan when we started, and this was reality. So we always wanted to have in this year 40 Omamas. Right now we have 44. And yeah, this was, I was mentioning this, and we influenced this state strategy. There is new plan from last year. There is new plan about this early childhood development. We are also part of recovery plan supported from European Union. So we will have, hopefully for next 3 years, we will have significant money from this plan. And from 2026, there will be change of law. It's plan of state, and there will be new social service inspired by Omamas. So they call it pedagogical assistant, something like this. So there will be like new position in the state system, which will be supported from the state. So that was our main aim from the beginning, not to help only our kids in our program, but to build some systemic solution. So this is our organization now. We have more than 100 people. And also we have other programs about solving generational poverty. This is Philip program. It's about mentoring and financial literacy and debts and housing and helping them to find a job and these things. And also we have, thanks to Omamas, but everything is thanks to Omamas. Thanks to Omamas, we have trust in those societies. They know us, they trust us, and we build other programs because this is a very complex problem and it needs complex solutions. So we also build some other programs. And in future, we just finished our Vision 2030. And we have a lot of other programs there. We will do, or together with partners, we want to collaborate and to improve the life in those poor communities and to improve the life of those people. That's it. Thank you very much. And you can ask.
Thank you very much, Pavel. Whenever I hear your story, my immediate thoughts are that change is possible. So thank you very much again for your powerful presentation. I would like to welcome Eva Deák from Partners Hungary. Hello, Eva, who joined us during your presentation. And yeah, it's question and answers time. Maybe I'll ask Margaret to ask her questions first because she needs to leave in 15 minutes. So yeah, Margaret, please go ahead.
Thanks a lot, Pavel. Really, really impressive in what you've achieved. I was very struck by the fact that you said, you were people in your middle age in the 40s starting. And I think, that there's something to be said about that because you bring life experience, you bring your network to the work as well. And I think that's important. It is amazing what you've achieved just in a really short space of time. I'm particularly struck by the growth and the strategic growth. And I just wondered, there's two things I'm curious to hear a little bit more about. I'm very familiar with the early childhood development model and the home visiting, but I'm curious to hear a little bit more about, your strategy, your fundraising strategy, but also, the systematic embedding in policy strategy. Did you have a plan at the very beginning, or did that evolve as the project evolved? So that was one question, just around, the strategic thinking and planning. And then the second question, I was just curious to know a little bit more about the measuring, the monitoring, particularly at the level of the interaction between the Omama and the mother and the child. Who does that, or how is that organized? Because, collecting that data is really, really important, but sometimes it can interfere in the very special interaction and support, and it can also be very time consuming. So I'm just wondering how you manage that. So there were my two questions.
Thank you, Margaret. First question regarding to fundraising and these advocacy activities. We had some plan, but it was like lean startup at the beginning, really. And lean startup means that you try something, see the results, correct it. If it works, you continue. If not, you correct it or change, pivot. It was not like a very strict plan. We had some vision, but we were very flexible and at the beginning, definitely. Later and later, we built more and more plans because we were sure that this works and this not. So it was like constant building. Fortunately, I had a lot of experiences with fundraising. I think this is a good way when the leader has this experience, because I was sure that fundraising is possible. I worked before. I worked in one of the biggest foundations in Slovakia, Pontis Foundation, and in that time we measured investments from private sources, from companies and other donors to different fields. And for example, these marginalized communities, it was one of the least areas, or less money, or really very small money went to this area. But so it was also obstacle, and we were thinking, is this because of fundraising, because of racism, because of different reasons? It's not popular, it's not attractive, it's sensitive, for example, for companies or other donors to support this field. On the other hand, I was sure that there is part of society which is a supporter, which understands that it's necessary to do something, and and they are looking for some good projects, and there is a lack of such good projects. So yes, and we address those people and those companies. And the results were even better than we thought. That we thought that it will be, for example, 1 of 10 donors, 1 of 10 these prospects will support us, and it was much higher. And we were surprised how many people are sensitive to that. After that, I think it's also connected with advocacy, because then I believe that giving is not about giving money. It's also about giving trust, giving your values, connecting your values. And when those people support us, they also become part of the movement, part of the community. And for example, when they have on the meeting, when they have beer with their friends and they argue about Roma, for example, in Slovakia, which is a very frequent topic. So there is another new experience they can share. They can say that, but I support Omamas, and Omamas are Roma ladies, and that's not true that they don't want to be educated. That's not true that they don't want to have a job. For example, they don't want to work. So they have like personal experience, personal arguments. So I think that thanks to fundraising, we also built this community of ambassadors of this topic, and those people, those individuals, like normal people in society, they start also to be our supporters, and they open doors to other fields of fundraising. For example, many of our individual donors, they write us and they say that, I work in this company and we have this grant program. Please join, and it's possible that you will be supported. So our fundraising was growing constantly or organically, but we started with that belief that individual donors are important, but also it opens door to other institutions and also to the state. For example, in this our new government, we have a new government we have very specific political situation, but in that new government we have 5 people who are our supporters. So Two of them are major donors, so they really give, including Prime Minister. They give us really big money, individual money from them, and others are small donors, or they supported us in other ways. So and this is a huge opportunity, because thanks to this, for example, I can sit with Ministry of Education, and we can discuss segregation problem and these topics. So this was about fundraising. Advocacy, it was the similar. We only had vision that it's nice to help, for example, 100 kids. It's nice, but this problem is huge, and we need to help more. So we started to cooperate with others, and also we received significant support, for example, from some foundations like Porticus Tano is here. This was very, very important that they supported us to build these networks, and they give us some flexible money, for example, for these advocacy activities. And we had some resources to spread our activities. This was very critical. So and what is nice, we built. I believe that grants and these things, donations are important from the state, but you also need some private money to be flexible, because those, especially in Slovakia, this is rules is the English word. It's like that. It's problem when those NGOs, they have money only, for example, for one project, and when that project is finished, they need to fire people, and they need, for example, to start 2 years after that, when there is like new program period, and they will start again. So, and this is not a sustainable solution. And we promise our Omamas that we will employ them constantly, that you can live a very safe life, you have job, and it's not project, it's like constant life. Because people in those marginalized communities, they don't like the word project, because project means something that it will come, and it will start, and it will end, and it will finish. So because of that, we told them that we are program, we are not project, we are program. So like continuous long-term program. So this was about fundraising advocacy. So we built this network and support, and we were very active in those working group in the States. We contacted politicians or maybe this middle staff in those institutions. And right now we have this, and honestly, it was not everything was thanks to us. There were also some other players who were active, and we cooperated with them. So this concept of collaboration, cooperation is very important. No,
Pavel, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but Margaret has to leave in 5 minutes. And
it's fascinating. I mean, it's really, really useful information. So maybe just move on to the M&E bit.
Okay.
I will continue to have contact with you, of course.
Okay, thank you.
And I look forward.
I apologize. Sorry.
I can imagine you're enthusiastic, and you've achieved.
Okay, so very quickly about that measurement. We have different measurements. And one, for example, and it depends. For example, that cooperation with Oxford University, Michelle Fernandez, she's the main person in Oxford University responsible for inter-MBA methodology, and she visited Slovakia, and she trained assessors in Slovakia. And those assessors are responsible for that assessments in our program. So it's not directly done by those Omamas or mentors with kids they work with, because it would not be like fair or so. So there is somebody independent. So she trained those assessors. But also there are, for example, some measurement. We also measure, for example, language development. So there are some experts who come to our communities, cooperate with us, and they measure. They are experts. They measure what they want, and we communicate about the results. Right now, we are working on our impact report. So we cooperate with some analyticians, very smart people. And regarding to our internal measurements, we have this application. So, but yeah, we know that we have those data, but sometimes we are not experts, we are not scientists, so we are field workers. So sometimes, yeah, we know that those data can be like something like help to us. It's not like scientific proof, but it's like for us, it's good signal if something works or not. So maybe there can be some failures or some not scientifically proven ways what to measure, but for us it's like a practical tool how to improve things. So we have a lot of different measurements, and some of them very experienced, and some of them very like practical.
Thanks a million, Pavel. Really, really informative. And, I do look forward to following up with you and hearing more and exchanging more.
Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret. Anyone else has question or questions? Daniel. Stano, come on, you're next.
Yeah, thanks, if I may. We touched upon this in some of our previous conversations, Pavel, but I would like to also hear if there is any development in this that and I'm mostly interested not in the practical aspect, but in the thinking behind it. And I'm wondering, like, once you entered the communities, you realized, okay, this is not only about the situation in education, but it's also about housing, health, and financial literacy, and all those things. And you just keep adding to the work. But of course, like, I understand, like, you can't do anything, right? Everything. You can't do everything. Yeah. And so I'm wondering, like, what's the thinking behind this? Like, because like the name of your organization is The Way Out, but like, then the automatic question must be like, am I doing enough to really like get these kids out of poverty, out of the social exclusion, and like to help you? Like the way I see it is, maybe the resilience is the key there, right? That you are not eliminating the negative factors, but building resilience of those kids, those families against those negative externalities that need more of the systemic changes. But yeah, I'd love to hear, like, also how is this developing, and maybe what the individual Roma women that you work with, like, how do they see it? Are they working 25 hours a day to eliminate all the externalities, or what's happening there?
Yeah, thank you, Stano. And you are very true that we feel that this early childhood development, this Omama program is working. That we found the model how it can work. Of course, it's necessary still to improve it, and so we want to develop it. And we are thinking right now that you are very true that we are thinking that is it possible that we as Cesta will help all kids in these marginalized communities? The answer is no. We don't want to be huge corporation and to employ thousands of people, because it's not our vision. But we want to have significant number of good results or the families we work with, and to show, to measure it, and to show success, or to find the right way what is possible to do, and also to have some influence to persuade state or some institutions to some changes. Because when you are only very small, they don't care so much. When you are bigger, we feel it. They always it's like their first choice. That okay, we don't understand this problem so much, so we will phone somebody who has experience, who is very active in this field. So when you are bigger, you have more power to influence also those institutions. and it happens. So, but it's not our vision to do everything. We want to include or involve others, other players. We want to cooperate. We want to inspire from them, and I want to inspire them. So we are absolutely okay that when there will be more players, and we will build the system, sustainable system, and more players will be active in this field. And but regarding to your question, we want to find in those settlements what is working. And yeah, it's like we always communicate with those people. And for example, when we employ those omamas, we found that most of them, they have debts. Like our employees, they have debts. They have these problems with those debts. And at the beginning, we wanted them to help with those debts, like employer. But we found it's more complicated as we thought that we need some bigger expertise in this field to help them. And after that, we found that it's maybe better to help also to those families, because if they will not have such big stress because of those debts and bad conditions, they will give better education to their kids. So it's very useful. So that was our thinking behind, okay, we want to build like one healthy model in several communities with several interventions. So this was second one. Early childhood, we started with early childhood development, but also we continued with this supporting of not only kids, but also the whole families, and helping them to solve their problems like debts, housing, and these things. And also what we are thinking that, okay, early childhood development is critical. We are absolutely sure about that. But those kids will continue in schools and later on. So, and will those schools will use this potential those kids have, or not? And so we are thinking right now about program for school age, just to understand better how those kids continue, and if necessary, to support them on that age, and especially later during this teenage program, because in that age, this is second critical age, the teenagers, because it's like their entrance to adulthood. Usually, those people they start very soon. They have kids very soon, and this support their poverty. Because when they have kids after primary school, when they are 16, it's not possible that they will, or it's more complicated that they will be successful in life. They will have a good job and other things. So we want to also work with that age to help them to improve education or finish education, have better skills for jobs, and to start like better family for their kids. And our omamas will have better work, because they will have like kids from better families or not such stressful families. So this is our thinking behind to build on small scale like healthy model for the critical period of life or topics. And we want to discuss about it. We want to share it. We want to cooperate with other players, with other NGOs, with other partners, with state, with municipalities, just to share this good experience if it is working. Or if there are other players, this is best scenario, that there are other players who are active in these fields. And we will say that, okay, we are experts in early childhood development, so we will do this component, and you are responsible for housing, you are responsible for school age, you are responsible for pathologies like dependencies on alcohol and these things. So we will not care about this, and we will collaborate, and this will be great. But unfortunately, there are not so many players, so it's necessary to start something on small scale. And you are true that it's management challenge. But yeah, we want to try. And we don't say that we will continue with everything. We will continue only with those promising projects or promising results when we will see that it makes sense. So yeah, that's our thinking behind.
The Darwinian way. Some things will stay alive, some things will die. Eva, you're next.
I'm from Partners Hungary Foundation from Hungary, and I'm amazed about this very complex model. And I think this approach is pretty unique. And we also look for such models in Hungary, how to break the cycle of poverty. And I think this is a great model in early childhood development. And we always seek the ways to find as early as we can. So it gives a lot of answers. I have plenty of questions. Sorry for being late. I have some questions regarding the field work. I have some questions about policy making. I have some questions about adaptability. Well, what else? Yeah, that is maybe. And also Roma participation, because I think this is key in any kind of program in which we are working with Roma communities. The first question I have, and maybe you told it, I just missed at the very beginning, that how many families belong to one Omama, and the other one is if it's a full-time job for them, and how long can you ensure that they are employed? These are the first questions about the fieldwork.
Okay, they have three situations. Omama can be half-time jobs, 3/4, or full-time job. So these three options. Usually when they start, we offer them to be 3/4 or half-time, and it's up to them as they want. They never start as full-time because we know it's quite difficult. And usually when we employ them, they were unemployed or they were home with their kids. So it would be very stressful for them to start with in huge scale. So they can, and if they are really good after 3 months, usually later, they can have full time. So right now maybe we have half of our Omamas are full-time jobs, but it was like process. They started with not such a big job, but they grow. And the number of kids depends on this, how big is their job. So if they are half-time, they have 14 kids in their portfolio, let's say. Usually 14 families. If they are full-time, 28. But right now we are discussing about that number, not about half-time, it's work, but for full-timers, it seems that 28 is quite a lot. It's quite demanding. It was working for several years and it was working. But right now we see that those Omamas who were first are quite tired because you need every day to visit at least 6 families every day. And you need to focus and concentrate on kids and parents. And it's not really easy because we teach them so many pedagogical things, what to do. It's not only that they go there, they play. It's about responsive communication. It's about checking mother situation or parent situation. It's about kids and their age, about a lot of different things and how to react in a good way. So it's about developing of language, for example. It's very interesting and very complicated thing what to do in which age with language. So So it seems that 28 kids is quite a lot. So we have right now process of discussion with Omamas, and they tell us, and they communicate with their mentors, and they will tell us their proposals, what to change, what to improve, and probably we will give them some extra time, extra free time, extra support. Probably they will have less kids when they are full-timers. So yeah, this is how we work. We try it, we see, we check it, we measure it, and if it works, we continue. If not, we change something. So this will be one of the change. So this was about number of kids. And sorry, the last question was what? Or
that was about full-time or part-time employment. Yeah. Another question has been raised in my mind while I was listening to you. This is about the mental health, both the mothers and also the Omamas. How do you ensure to deal with the mental health issues in the process?
Very, very good question, because to live in that generational poverty is very stressful, and it's very, very difficult, really. And to work with those people who live there is very difficult. And those Omamas, they are not like well-educated experts with universities. So they are like normal people from that poor communities. So at the beginning, because of that, we established this mentoring process. This is critical. Many people think when they go to Cesta, they thought that you have so many people for this thing, so it's like luxury. Yeah, it's luxury in some way, but it's necessary, because I see that when you would only employ Omama and don't support her very much, it will not work. It will finish in several months, or it will not have good quality. So this mentoring process is very, very important, and we employ those mentors. They are also employees. They are not volunteers, and they have regular meetings. They learn what to do, how to help. So they are like first help for those Omamas, and they share everything together. When Omamas have problems with some families, with something, when she is not sure. So there is mentor. A mentor is from middle class, and mentor helps her. And it's very about trust. It's about their personal connections. So many times they are like, yes, also close friends, but also we call them that it's fine that when you will be friends, but it should be also professional in some way, because there are also some other elements, not only about this personal connection. So this mentoring is very crucial. Those mentors, they have also like normal supervisory meetings with experts on social work. So they have this support, because they also need this. And those families, they have a lot of mental health problems. So if necessary, we try to ask some experts or try to help them. But it's only in worst families. But usually you can have some pathologies. You can have some domestic violence there. You can have some abuses. You can have some a lot of bad things. And we are sure that we are not able to change everything. It's necessary to go step by step. And so if possible, we cooperate with experts, with our other organizations. We invite them to our trainings. We discuss with them what to do, how to find the best ways. We are not experts on everything. So we cooperate with, for example, Návrat is one of the very good organizations in this field. So we cooperate with them, also with many others. So we involve psychologists and other things, other experts.
Sorry to be the guy who interrupts. I know Eva has many questions, and David also has some. So how about we make the Eva's question like one question, 3 sentences answer, and then David is next, so we can finish on time.
But I can give the floor to David to his question, and then I can come afterwards. So maybe he's asking what I'm also interested. So
Also good. Thank
please
you,
go
Eva.
ahead.
And
Thank
I
you.
promise I will be shorter. That's my mistake. I love the topic. Sorry.
It's not a mistake at all. God forbid. It's not a mistake. If anything, it's a huge positive thing that you're having.
Indeed, thank you, Pavel, for your work and your words, and Eva for your kind yielding. I want to ask basically, you spoke a lot about how difficult it is for Omamas, and you have this very nice system on the small scale, like that you have these supervisors who are improving the performance, and then like providing some professional reflection, and then as you just spoke about, these mentors who are more for the sort of like personal reflection. Now, as you said, we have this huge scale of the problem, and you mentioned that at the state level that there is some plan to introduce these pedagogical assistants. I wonder if like some of those, this is not only, they will not only be addressing the Roma communities and the very poor communities perhaps, but I'm interested in if perhaps these pedagogical assistants will get comparable support, like broadly comparable support to your Omamas, or if you can speak to that.
Thank you, David. Just to clarify this, these pedagogical assistants, it will be not like new position in the state system that the state will employ them. What is our idea, what we push, that state will support non-governmental players or providers of such social service. So that there will be like definition on about that assistant. There will be money for this assistant, but for example, we can apply for that money, and we can use that money, and also other NGOs, other providers can apply for this money. And yes, this is very critical, what we are talking about, that there should be some way of quality. This is what we try to still repeat, because we see, and also I started with those social return on investment in the world, and there are different rates of social return on investment, but some programs are not such good and don't have such big social return on investment. If it is not quality, if there is not good quality, it will not be such good. So this is what we push for, but it's at the state level that they should say that, okay, we will approve some providers, and we will ask them, or we will expect this kind of quality, that they will have these positions and this support, this level, this measurement. So it's up to state to set these rules, and yes, those providers should apply for that, and should have and should show that we have this level of quality, and in that case, state will support it with money. So that is the idea behind. So it will not be like state employees; it will be employees of those providers, but supported by state. And just to imagine now, just to understand, it's not such a huge problem. It's in Slovakia. It's about 3,000 of kids who are born every year to this generational poverty. So 3,000, and when we calculated this, it's about from 10 to 20 million euros per year to support network and to cover all kids with this problem. So, and 10 to 20 million euros, it's not such a big investment for state when those results and or returns for state are so huge. There is no business, or only few businesses with such high return on investment. So for state, it's great investment. So it's not big money. in terms of early childhood development. So I believe that our state will think, we will see what will be the political situation, of course, but our state is pushed by European Union, and there were also some legal problems. There were some courts that we have huge segregation. We don't have good solutions. So I believe that there is some need to do something. So I hope so that there are some promises. So I hope that they will fulfill them in the right way.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we have also some push from the European Union in Hungary, but as we see, you can always kind of solve them in a very creative way. So coming back to Eva with this, Eva, do you have still some more questions? We have like 7 minutes more from this session.
Okay, this is always critical, how to talk about policy making in Hungary without having a Ministry of Education and having education at Ministry of Internal Affairs, but still the question is what was the turning point when you could deal with the policy making? How could you start? What was the, maybe you understand the question.
Yeah. I am not sure if I have a right answer, but what I feel that what we do, everything what we do is very on a human level, let's say. Our communication is very human, we don't have this kind of very formal communication. We have very we talk stories. We talk. We believe that we as people, we as employees, we believe that what we do, and this is like magnet for others. And we build constantly and organically this community of supporters. And many of them were also from the state. And we started in our state, we have specific departments of analyticians, very smart people. There are analyticians with Western universities on each ministry. And they are responsible for preparation of some studies and some calculations, some analysis for the state. Usually they are frustrated that their analyses are not, they don't hurt or they don't continue in reality, but they are very smart. And through them, it was possible to be part of some state analysis or to be mentioned in somewhere. And for example, that was, I think that was one of the critical steps that through our human communication, they believed what we did on personal level. After that, they were open more to involve it and to find out more, like we are discussing right now. So they were discussing with us, and they involved these two strategies that, hey, the state, we have a problem with marginalized communities. What is necessary to do? Here are some nice examples from NGO sector, for example, like Cesta, like Omamas. This is good way with very good return on investment. We recommend to do this. And yeah, it was only in some analysis and recommendations, but later on we found also the same support from some people from the state, from some clerks, from some politicians, and it was improving. But also, I repeat again, that it was not only thanks to us, it was also thanks to other. For example, we cooperate with Socia Foundation, and it was supported by Porticus. We cooperate with some other NGOs, and it's also thanks to this joint effort that there were some changes. So it's not a good strategy to be egoistic in this topic, because you will not. We are not heroes, and we need others to succeed. So we only in cooperation we can succeed. So because somebody knows somebody, and we don't know all people in the state or all decision makers, and we don't have all arguments. So we need to cooperate with others. So probably I think all these elements were critical in this advocacy field. And also maybe last idea is that this topic is quite nice because there is a huge this problem with segregation, and with racism. But when you are working with early childhood, it's very complicated to criticize babies that they are responsible for everything. So they are only babies, and I didn't know that before. But this is maybe a good way how to persuade people that are only babies, preschool, after birth. We need to support them because their parents they don't have capacities to support them. So and those babies they are fragile, and maybe this is good. And we didn't know that, but now I think that it's maybe better tool how to persuade the state, because there are babies, and it's not such complicated like when you push parents, for example, to go to the same school with Roma kids from settlements. It's much more difficult, this desegregation discussion. This is about early childhood development. It doesn't have enemies, this topic, because it's good for all of us.
Okay. We have 1 minute left, so we'll grab the opportunity to ask at least one question. And this question would be, Pavel, what question haven't we asked that you think would be important to talk about?
You ask great questions, and there are so many other questions we are discussing. And for example, that because I was mentioning that individual lens, that we are focusing on child and family, but there is, and you were asking about this, and you were asking also about this maybe institutional or systemic changes, but there is also this community lens. What is necessary to change in communities as such? How is necessary to empower the whole communities, the players, because those kids, they grow in those communities, and what they experience every day, what they see from the morning to the evening in their everyday life. This is also important topic. What is necessary to change in communities? How they look like? Are they healthy? Are they sustainable? Are they fragile? So this is also a good topic, but for the next session, okay?
Right. I also had another question that I won't ask because it will take another 20 minutes. I will ask it from myself and answer it for you, like how I see. So I think like the very unique aspect of the Cestaphone and the Omama project, it's relational approach. I see everything you build is built on relations. So I think at least this is like the biggest takeaway for me, like how different Cestaphone is and why it seems to work is the relations. So I will close on this. Thank you very much, Pavel, for being available for this wonderful session, and thank you to everyone who came today and hopefully learn something, and to be continued. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Maxim.
Yes.
Should we like you were mentioning, you will write like, you know, this into some sort of an interview or this? Will you take care of this, or do you want me to shoot you some notes? Or
I can start. So as you see, there is this Fireflies note taker, which makes a transcript of the conversation. So I have the transcript, but it also does some summary automatically. I usually do use it as a start. maybe because I'm still traveling, I won't have much time, and would be great to have it as soon as possible. So would be it all right if I share with you the transcript and the summary? It usually does quite a pretty good summary, and then you see whether you can turn it in a blog post. Would that be okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Great.
Do you think you will send this to me today? You expect?
Yeah. Just as we stop speaking, it will be ready in 1-2 minutes, and then I will send it over.
Okay. Awesome. Thank
Technology.
you. Enjoy Italy. Yeah.
Thank you very
that's
much.
fantastic. Actually. Take care.
All right. Bye, David.